Cool. All right. For whatever reason, the chat is decided not to work today. However, I am excited to be here with everyone. It's going to be one of those unfortunate days. I really can't see the messages on the chat, but who is excited? It is the MLCI Marathon 260 on 25th of September 2020, the celebratory session, the final day for Marathon 260. And you know what? It is time. It is really the time it needs to sink in. It needs to sink into every single one's head today that we have made it. The marathon is finally, we are in the final, it's just between the ribbon and us right now. I'm just gonna tell you, start this wonderful session off with a story that to say how special every single one of you is. A popular speaker started off a seminar by holding up a $20 bill. A crowd of 200 had gathered to hear him speak. He asked who would like this $20 bill. He said, I'm going to give this $20 to one of the first one, but let me do this. He crumpled up the bill and he asked who wants it. Again, all 200 hands were still raised up. Well, he replied, what if I do this? Then he dropped the bill on the ground and stomped it with his shoes. He picked it up and showed it to the crowd. The bill was all crumpled and dirty. Now who still wants it? All hands were still up there. My friends, I've just showed you a very important lesson here. No matter what I did to the money, what he did to the money, everybody still wanted it. It did not decrease in value. It was still worth $20. Many times in our life crumples us, grinds us to the dirt. We make bad decisions or deal with poor circumstances. You're part of marathon. You were not part of marathon. Just because you didn't complete it, you might feel worthless. But no matter what has happened or what will happen, you will never lose your value. You are special. Every single one of you is listening today are special. Don't ever forget that. With that, I would like to have the slide for me to introduce the program for the day, what is going to happen with our wonderful session. If you can have the next slide, in every single room, that would be perfect. Guys, you're going to see the marathon in numbers, what we have achieved, something really special, all the congratulations, the nominations, the Hall of Fame. It has come the day we're going to see who the top 5 people who made it. The Eventi tickets, Eventi is not even far away. I'm even wearing a t-shirt saying virtual Eventi. And the marathon summary itself. So with that, I would like to invite the wonderful Yulia Bulatova, who tirelessly have always been in every single call when we had the marathon. And Yulia, you are very invaluable to our company. So with that, Yulia, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Harin. I'm very excited and pleased to greet all of you. This is the final session of the marathon, and we can call this day our graduation day. As we worked really hard, we did our homework, we worked in groups, and throughout this time, we managed to become a very united and very tight family. And I believe that most of you not only got new skills, but as well met new friends. And I was lucky to be a co-organizer of this marathon, but at the same time, a student. Therefore, I worked hard together with you, and therefore this session is my graduation as well. Let's recall how it started. It started on the 2nd of February, and today is the final session. This is the grand finishing line, and altogether there were 1,830 live participants, 2,136 people were active participants in 7 language groups, 367 people were trained as listeners, and 130 made it to the finish line. Can you imagine this number? So there were 70 administrators and 35 mentors supporting our participants, including one of them, our CEO, Andreya Howratova. On a continuous basis, these people supported our participants, helped them, and how hard administrators worked. We did our homeworks and they checked them and helped us. There were 11 simultaneous interpreters working every session, and each session was available mostly to their efforts. They translated our slides. 33 speakers spoke at the sessions of the marathon from around the world. We received over 100 hours of theory and 73 of practical courses, of practical assignments. Most participants actually completed them 100% or 50%. So we received a lot of positive feedback from you. Your feedback and the feedback of everyone present, you can actually hear them at the end of today's session. They will be displayed for your information. And we all acquired invaluable experience and a package of knowledge. And many of you have achieved positive results. But only 62 people worked to organize this training event. Can you imagine this number? It is really hard work. It seems that it's easy to make up slides and deliver a topic, but it is really time consuming. Some of us worked day and night and solely with the idea that you should become progressive. I'm very thankful to all the mentors, administrators, organizers, and everyone who worked for the marathon, as well as our dear students who worked together with us and actually reached this final line. Next slide, please. We all will get the certificate of this template as an acknowledgement of your completion of the marathon. Each of you will have his or her own certificate with the identification of your merits in the marathon and your performance and achievement. So look, in the chats, we will read the feedback, and follow please the news, stay with us and be with the company and apply the knowledge which together with you we acquired at the marathon. Reach your results, and I wish all of you a lot of heights ahead, and looking forward to meeting you again. I'm sure that there will be some. And hand over back to Harin.
With that, thank you so much, Yulia Bulatova. That was wonderful, wonderful message that you've given us. Thank you for your tireless efforts all this while. Everyone is getting a certificate. Wow, that's amazing. And the numbers were fantastic, guys. We do apologize that the English chat is disabled, but 1,830 live participants at every single time, 11 simultaneous interpreters, 33 speakers that spoke in different topics, and received more than 100 hours worth of theory and almost 75 practical sessions. This was amazing. We are excited. The struggle was real, but I think we just made it this last year. If we can have all the next slides on the next slide in every single room, that would be perfect. I would like to wish and congratulations to everyone who did to their level best. The next person is going to come and tell you, he's going to introduce a very wonderful person. He's my big brother. Met him very many times, but you all know who it is. It's Arman Muniax himself. Armand, you are a wonderful coach for Marathon 260. Please come and share this wonderful news with everyone. Armand, the floor is yours.
Hello, good day. Do you hear me? Is this the right room? Hopefully, yes.
Yes.
Okay, guys. First of all, congratulations for achieving this amazing result. So you started 260 days ago, almost 260 days ago, and today you can see where you are. So what Julia just announced, guys, I think that this is something incredible in numbers, right? And incredible in your life performances. Today I did the live on Facebook, and a lot of people actually they were like feeling so sad that we are finishing this amazing journey calling Marathon 260. But it's, you know, that never something ends. So if something is ending, then something new kicks in, right? And I would like today to congratulate the person who actually was one of the, I would say, more engaged, were more active. So it's a very hard to announce his name. I had a call with him, and he said that I can actually, I would say, share his name. And can you just pop up the slide that I can actually read it? So the next slide, guys. Yeah, the faster career growth, and the person's name who did in a short time, he went from agent to consultant. So like in 1 month, right, from agent to consultant, and it took him only 2 months to reach the manager status. So I really apologize because his name is really, really complicated. If I will announce it wrongly, so sorry for that. Shantanaraja Goplan. Congratulations. So you are one of the winner. So on the next slide, guys, can you please switch the slide? Yes, here he is. And actually I had the possibility to talk to him, and I want, let's say, a little bit to share what he shared with me. So Harin Arun, you are actually the trigger for him to have the results that he had. And he told me that he came, he joined in January, and then he started to participate on Marathon 260. And when he heard, Harin, your speech, when he heard your topic, then that would actually, let's say, trigger him to be more involved. And the results that he is doing within the company, he said that he never seen anywhere else. This person has a 20 years plus experience in network marketing business. Also, he's an entrepreneur, he's a businessman. And another thing that actually was very interesting that he shared with me, he said that the way how he joined is because of Academy. So the name itself, Academy, actually was the trigger for him to jump in January and continue this long run with us. So congratulations, my friend. I don't know if you are here in the room, if they will give you access to the microphone. So hopefully you have a good internet, but not sure if you are in the room. Anyway, we will hear from this person in the future, because really it's worth to hear what the person with experience in businesses, in online business, what the person is saying, and what are the feedback about our Marathon 260. So one more time, congratulations, not only to Shantaraja but also to all the people who participate.
I am here. Can you hear me, Armand?
Yes, hello, my friend. You are online.
Thank you, Armand. And really, I am very much happy to hear from you that I am selected as a winner. Really, it's all God's blessing, and definitely, as you told and we discussed over phone. Past 20 years, I am just trying, doing in networking, and it is my passion that I want to learn from all the industries, all the opportunities. As I told you, I am very passionate about whatever the name in academy, I will jump into that and I will learn what is that. That is my passion, and I told you my concept is ILT, invest, learn and teach. That is the concept I understood. That is what is happening in all online business, and I just quickly observed that concept. And one more thing, I am very much feeling great that my YouTube channel name is Internet Spiritual Millionaire. I always value money with the spiritual values. So our CEO, when I attend CEO's meeting and training, end of that meeting, always our CEO shares about the spirituality, spiritual values and everything. So I thought that this is the place, finally God shown me, this is the place I want to be here and I want to do it in a very quick way. And our brother, Mr. Harin Arun, is the trigger point for me. I attend his first marathon mentor meeting, and he gave me the broad spectrum of this business. And in that particularly, he told me that our company is looking for leaders. Normally, in network marketing, leaders jump into one business and they only look for good business. But in here, it is vice versa. Company is looking for good leaders, and if you are in any corner of this world, company is ready to find out and the company is ready to build you. I saw that. I have seen Harin Arun's development in his position in our company past 6 months. So really, I am very much excited, and marathon is the other way, because I am very new to investment. Like a normal person, I also thought that these kind of investments are only for millionaire people having huge money like that. But here, when I came here and I understood this concept, and then I realized that, yes, there is a simple thing as we teach people. Poor people are giving priority to spending, not for saving. But rich people, there is a shift in their mindset. They are giving importance to savings, and then only they are spending. If we are ready to shift this action-wise mindset, definitely within 5 to 10 years, we can become millionaire. So,
good. So do you want to know what is your reward?
My reward?
Yes. So
Yeah,
do you know that we in a company, we have, we are almost launched this Genius of Finance game.
Yeah.
So that is a simulator where you will be able to practice your knowledge, what you gain in a Marathon 260 with your friends, with your colleagues. So, and you will get this as a present for the activity and for the achievement that you did. Congratulations.
Wow.
And also,
wow, it is a very good reward for me, and this is the next level development. I can learn more and I can guide people in a very good way. Fantastic.
Great. And the next thing, also you will get a ticket for the next training, which will be done by one of the best MLM guru, who is, let's say, teaching a lot of stuff, and a lot of millionaires came from his knowledge.
Oh, super.
So stay till the end, and you will find out how to get your rewards, and also you will get what exactly you are going to attend.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your
Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Final words for the gratitude. Really, I am very thankful to our CEO and the Presidential Club, Leadership Club, councils and everybody, and also the sponsor who brought me to this business, and the Ravi Kumar sir who is supporting me in a nice way. All Indian leaders, all leader council members and everybody. Really, I am growing because of your support, and I realize that here we are not doing anything alone. We are a team and we are a community, we are a family, get together and we are doing it. Thank you, thank you. I am very proud to say thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and,
you.
Before I will pass the word to another amazing speaker, amazing person who actually you know very well, I want to say the last word from my side. Guys, all of you graduated, you did this 260 days. I know that it was tough. I know that it was quite challenging, but you did it, you achieved it. And I want to say that this is just the beginning of the road to success. So now I would like to pass the word to Mila Serdikova. I remember when I met her in 2015. Oh, so sorry, Cam will be. So then Mila will be introduced later on. Cam, I remember that with the Cam we had quite interesting meetings. So I met her through the Facebook, and on the Facebook, basically we were talking about, let's say, the poverty. We were talking about the situation, what is happening in the life, and she found it that this is not just a business that she will be doing, but this is a mission that she's happy to join. Cam Nyung, so hopefully you are here. The word is yours, the stage is yours, and please welcome.
Yes, thank you very much, Arman, for introducing me today. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for Arman for introducing me today. Hi, everyone. Do you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, mate.
Yeah. So everybody here maybe know me. I'm introduce myself. My name is Nina Nguyen. It's the people call me Cam. I'm a member of President Council. I'm president, and right now I'm living in America. So I have many years in invest to cryptocurrency and real estate in America. So right now I have a big team in Vietnam, in America, Australia, and many countries around the world. I'm an private investor too. Today is congratulations everyone, because all of us now is come at the end of marathon. We're happy to achieve our rank in what we have, and we are so excited to the new coming for the event coming on this October 1st. And you can see we have many amazing new, right? So everybody excited about it? I think everybody excited like me too. You know, it's every day I'm work. I feel like I'm doing something I never do before. And until now, I think it does everything I do with my team and my leader, Arman, you know, he's the one who introduced me for this. I'm always thank God for this, and thank you him for the day he contact me. And I know it's you guys here until now, we can't believe why we here, right? And now I feel like it's a dream. I don't know it's what's going on right now, because we very happy in what we, how many years we have, and we have something in the future together with Andre. We can do something, create a history in the future. Nobody else, nowhere else we can have this. That's why today congratulations the best of effective leader. He come from New Zealand. He started as a client, but now is he a manager, and he have 118 people in the first line, and almost all of that is the over 100 sales he will make in the short time. So congratulations, but Karina, Walter, Brian, come from New Zealand. Are you here today? I think so. Are you here today? Can you say something? Because we don't have much time. Otherwise, I call you here. So he is an amazing leader, right? So today you will have 2 special gifts from what you do and your hard work. The first gift is for a ticket to attend the meeting, training from one of the best MLM leader, trainer in America. His name is Eric Walsh. And another gift is the box of version of China of Finance. Congratulations again. You see here, can you say hi something? Okay, maybe you're not here. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Karina, once again. And I hope next year some of you guys will be here and people can call your name in here. I remember I used to be, you know, the first start, but he the one that worked a lot for the first time. That is amazing, right? Okay. So thank you very much for listening to me today, because I get the time to hang on for Andrew Hawk from Australia. He is one of amazing leader in our company. He is one of the father, the good father, but he do a lot of work for our company. He come, and right now we are not a friend, but we work together very well. And congratulations, the winner today. And now is Andrew Hawk from Australia. Hello,
Hey,
you hear Andrew?
thank you, Cam. I can hear you, mate. Thank you very much for that very warm welcome. And yeah, look, there's plenty going on at the moment. Appreciate that. Now, guys, can you hear me? I know the chat's not working. Let me double check something here. Hold on.
How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me better now, guys? Just let me know. I know the chat's not working, so if you could, in the Q&A, if you can hear me.
Yeah, Andrew, this is way better. So, yeah.
Way better, yeah. Because I didn't check the right mic to start with. Apologies, guys. You can see here I'm at the booth at the API Collective, so doing things a little bit different. Of course, we're working really hard on Eventi at the moment, but that's not what this is about tonight. This is about the celebration of the Marathon 260. So first thing I want to say is congratulations to all the participants who have come this far. I know there's people that have dropped off over the last little while, and that's to be expected. It was a long run. It was a long run, but congratulations to everyone that did stick it through to the end, that did turn up to as many of the marathon sessions as they can. And I know they've been a little less over the last few weeks or few months, but that was always to be expected. And we've got through a lot of content, guys. Can you just imagine, just sit back and think for a second about when we started back at the end of February or in February. Think about when we started and how many sessions we've done, how many hours of training you've had, how many experts you've had on calls giving you information that have helped you build your business, not just your business, but your portfolio as well, your investment knowledge. People giving their time freely to you so that you can be prosperous. That is just such a noble endeavor, and it's so cool to have been a part of it, even just a small part. Even as a participant, it's been outstanding. So guys, this isn't about me tonight, obviously, and it's about you guys, about celebration, about celebrating our winners. And I want to congratulate our winners so far. But now I've got the illustrious honor of talking about our teams. Now, this is the award for the most united team, and there's 3 teams that we're going to reward here this evening. But before we get into the names that I'm going to be honest, I will struggle to pronounce, but I will do my best. I want to say that teamwork is key to making the dream work. I mean, that sounds as cliche. I get that. I get it. But it's true. And I think it's quite apt, quite appropriate that I'm here talking about the unified team, because we're doing teamwork at the moment to make sure that Eventi is the best thing for you. So we're going to go through from Italy now, the awards that everyone is getting here, and I will do my best to pronounce these names. Angurigino Roxana
Ionella. I hope I've pronounced that right. I've probably murdered it. I'm sorry. Adela Ferroncia Precap, Giorgio Casconi, Antonio Scivoletto, Emmanuel Murdaka. And that's from Italy, guys. Congratulations. Obviously, top team from Italy, one of the most united teams, putting everything on the line, making sure the homework's done and all that sort of thing. And a team from Kazakhstan, we've got Galina Kurijic, Janet Kene Betova, Altunik Bek Ketebekov. I realize it's only the English people that it's going to be pronounced wrong for now because our translators do such a great job. Kim Jehova, and obviously a team from Australia, which I should have absolutely no trouble in pronouncing. And we've got Deborah Sutherland, we've got Marie Zimmerman, and we've got a family here. And I just think this is one of the coolest things, is that we've actually got a whole family together in this team that are going to benefit from this prize. And we've got Mr. Paul Karga, who is an absolute gentleman. We've got Sam Karga, his amazing son, and his beautiful wife, Virginia Karga. So guys, congratulations to each and every one of you. Now, you're not going to leave here empty-handed this evening either. Now, you may have heard what Armand said before. Guys, how do you think a brand new Genius of Finance boxed edition would go, or how would it go in your home, in your language, to be able to go and promote your business, share it with other people, share the gift of financial literacy? That would be pretty cool, right? Well, guess what? That is going to be winging its way out to you. As Armand said, make sure that you stay to the end of the call to find out exactly how you can pick that up. But that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. You also heard Armand speak about Mr. GoPro himself, Eric Worre. Now, for the last 2 years, I've been privileged enough to go to the live event for GoPro Recruiting Mastery. And I can tell you, it is definitely, as Armand's described it, it is the premier event for recruiting, for network marketing professionals. And guys, I really hope that through this marathon effort, you've realized that you are network marketing professionals, because that's how we grow a business. You don't open a dairy and go, well, I'm just going to treat that as a hobby and see how it goes. No, you're going to work hard at making that. And for those who don't know what a dairy is, a convenience store. Dairy is a very New Zealand word. A convenience store, guys. You're not just going to treat it like a hobby. You're going to put your heart and soul into that to make sure that it works. That's what professionals do. This industry is no different. Unfortunately, we do get people that, oh, well, I'm just going to see how it goes. No, you've got to put it on the line. So guys, also, you are going to get a ticket. And guys, this year is going to be phenomenal, to GoPro Recruiting Mastery, their virtual edition. It is going to be awesome. I can tell you they're spending $20 million on their studio to make sure they bring us a premier event. So congratulations to each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, because I can tell you what, you are going to have a great, great time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it does bring me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker this evening. She is, of course, a member of the Presidential Council. In fact, one of the first presidents inside of our company, somebody that I have the utmost respect for. I remember the first time I ever saw this person in person, in the flesh, and I was a little bit awestruck. She stood up there and she taught us a lot about Master Profi, about the pros and cons and the processes and building a really solid foundation for your business. And this woman has one of the largest structures inside of our organization. And it just brings me great pleasure to welcome out Jamila. Now, Jamila, I'm not going to embarrass myself with your last name because I could never pronounce it, but please come out. It'd be great to have you on the scene here with us. And ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your evening. You're amazing. I love you all. Take care. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you very, very much. And good afternoon, dear colleagues. Good evening, dear colleagues, the graduates of our first history-making marathon. We know autumn itself is a harvesting period, but for our company, this is the period for reaping gold awards, you know. And today is a day when we reap the awards, when we reap the fruits of our labor. And here we have people who received their premier training And I would like to congratulate you all on you crossing the finishing line. And now, can you imagine the level of energy that we have today? And it will gradually pass on to 70. Can you imagine what energy is going to be like at 70? And today I have the honor to congratulate our best of the best, our A students who put their knowledge into practice and did all of their homework. I'm not gonna really read all the names because we have more than 100 people from different language groups. And I think you will see your names if you are one of them, or you will recognize your friends and relatives' names here that are the best performers in our marathon in terms of doing their homework. We had 15 people in the English-speaking room. We had 8 people in the Italian language group. We have 1 person from the Spanish language group. Then we have more than 40 people in the Russian language group. Who did? I'm sorry, there were some internet problems. Also, we had have graduates from the Hindi group who did their homework and became the 80 students. So what I'd like to wish to you guys is that the theory that you accumulated during your trainings should ASAP turn into practice. Because, you know, sometimes you have knowledge, you don't put it into practice, it's knowledge wasted. Whereas here, you have a perfect opportunity to implement, to put it into practice and reap the fruits of your labor. I'm also one of the first graduates of Master Profi courses, and those courses did help me achieve all my desired goals. And I would like to wish the same to you too, guys. And I would like you to grow in your statuses, have your teams grow, and receive big checks, you know, so that you put together theory and practice. So what is the gift we have in store for you guys? Now, I would like to tell you that each and every one of you is going to receive a box version of Genius of Finance game. This is a board game and a financial tool that will help solidify your knowledge, will help you attract new people into your structures. And each of you will also receive a ticket to the GoPro event, Eric Worre. It's a guru of MLM business. And I'm sure he will have things to teach to you, which will help improve your skills in network marketing. But I think you better see it once rather than hear it for 1,000 times from me. So what else I wanted to say about the marathon itself? You know, the universe itself now is helping us. Who knew in January, when the Presidential Council decided to have this marathon, that the situation, the global situation, would turn into a global pandemic and lockdown, that we won't be able to convene offline. But marathon helped us unite together in this difficult time. And I recently traveled across Kazakhstan, and many people said that it is during the marathon that they were able to dedicate themselves to self-development, you know. And you see, we foresaw all those events by all the pandemic related problems by launching our marathon. So let me congratulate you again from the bottom of my heart, and we will be waiting for all of you guys at our new event. And now I would like to give the floor to the next speaker. and you know him well. It's Harvinder Singh. Can we switch on to the next slide in the Russian room as well? Yes, thank you. And you know Harry. You do remember him, how great a host he was at our last year's event, and he was great not only on the stage there, but he's also a great leader in his own team, and he is full of energy and just a good man. Hari, you have the floor.
Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for introducing me with such a high spirit, Amelia ma'am. Now, from here, today you all must be thinking that Marathon 260 is ending today and it's the last day. No, don't think like that. It's a moment to take our company to another new height, to another new level. It is not an ending, it is a starting, it's the beginning. And it started because Mr. Andreya Hovratov's vision and mission, we all have received powerfully, and now it's our duty that we should take it forward to the next level. And it totally depends on us. So get ready, all of you, because you all have received that coaching, that knowledge, because of which you will be able to provide every city, every village, every home in the world, providing this mission that is new economic evolution of the world. If you are ready to work with us to transform this mission to every part of the world, then kindly click on number 1. Thank you so much for your kind response. Those who do not know me, let me present myself to you. So now I'm going to present the next leader in front of you. Those leaders who are best all around the world, who, because of their own skills, whatever they hear, they apply it into practice. Those people who, without performing any homework, they have listened carefully and created their own structure without performing any homework. Those people who have really put in value in the world, that lady is one and only Micheline Thomas. That woman in front of whom all the excuses don't work, where the word no does not exist in her dictionary. She performs everything with utmost skill and efficiency. So let me present that beautiful lady in front of you, Micheline Thomas. Congratulations, ma'am. You are the one who have won Genius of Finance game. And I would really congratulate you from the core of my heart, because many people, they think that we don't have time, we don't know how to work or how to proceed. You have not completed, you have not done any homework yet. You have achieved such a big height. Along with this, now I want to introduce that leader whose mere presence, her mere thinking, her mere thoughts gives us lots of inspiration. She is the one who motivates us to move ahead in our life, who turns from ordinary to a special, who by adding value to the life of people. So let's welcome on the stage the heart of this company, the combination of beauty with brains, Mila Serjukova ma'am. This floor belongs to you.
Thank you very much, Harry. Thank you very, very much for such kind, warm words. I'm really, really glad, dear friends, for being indeed at the finish line. I can't even believe it. 8 months flew by so fast. Now, give me a 1 in the chat if you're really excited and happy that you made it to the end of the marathon and that we together, dear friends, were able to do our homework, were able to participate in our group works, work with our mentors. Those of you who really received big value from this marathon, let me share a small secret with you. I guess the biggest event happening in our life, especially the decision making or the decision that we made towards such events, they are always like you get those like butterflies in your stomach, you're starting to fear, what if something goes wrong? What if my decision is not correct? What if I won't be able to do that? Give me a 2 in the chat if you had the same feelings. What if I don't make it? What if this marathon is not for me? So let me share a secret with you guys. When we just started the marathon, when the idea was born to launch this marathon, we had the same feelings, the same doubts. We weren't sure how you would react. We thought, what if you think that 8 months is too much or too long? What if our partners won't want to do their monthly payments? What if they won't like their homework? What if we don't have enough coordinators and mentors? So we had the same emotions, the guys that you had. And now in my life, I once again see, and the story, the history of successful businessmen shows it too, that all most important events and decisions that we make, they are always go along the path of fear. What if something goes wrong? But if we tell ourselves this is needed, this is important, we do it. That's when the universe works its magic and everything starts fitting in its own place, falling in its own place. In the marathon, remember the first week we had 5 days a week. That was something incredible. Twice a day too. And then gradually it started getting on the right track. And I was so grateful to all of our leaders that they joined in, our partners who sometimes were not even active before the marathon. And I'm very happy that our corporate part, the administrators, people responsible for the translations, interpretation, they joined in as well. And guys, without you, we wouldn't be able to do the marathon the way we had it. And also my gratitude to all of the listeners and participants too, because our original idea was to convey, to pass on the knowledge and the experience to you so that, as Harry said, you would be able in your own regions, areas, implement or roll out similar marathon, maybe a shorter version of it, but for your partners. Well, after all, we are all coaches here now, and I congratulate you on that. All of you who finished this marathon, you did receive the knowledge that was prior to that. Let's say the knowledge of our top leaders. Now you're on par with them. And now you have everything in your arsenal to get to your desire or to get to your dream. Now you are the coach, and use the materials. You have them in your back office. Use those materials to help and be mentors to your teams, to your structures, and to all the future people in your structure that will come seek advice from you. So now you know what we know. And I'm very glad that together we were able to put up this marathon that none of the companies did put up before. And the results are really amazing. Now I would like also to take this opportunity and to congratulate our top 5 winners here. We're talking about 3 nominations. So the first top 5 are people who worked with newly registered people and showed the best result in terms of registrations and volumes, both in their first line and downline. Now the fifth plate is Java Jack, then Masala Sandro first place, third place, then Neil fourth place, sorry, Neil Morrison fourth place, second place Walter Pakalani, and a lady top one, Sarangbam Sanayama. If I'm not mistaken, Sanayaima. If I'm not mistaken, she's Manipuri. So guys, well done. I'm sure that all the business topics that we've covered in our marathon will be of use to you, and I guess they are of use to you since you achieved so high, performed so high in your first line. As we always say, the bigger your first line, the more volumes you have, the more rapid the growth is that you're going to experience. You are our role models, guys. Thank you very much for your participation, and I'm really, really glad that you are in the top 5 of the outstanding leaders, people of our marathon in terms of your first line growth and the volumes. My congratulations to you guys. The next top 5 are people, partners who completed 100% of their tasks. The gold medalists, you know, in colleges back in the day, there were people, you know, there are people who still receive a magna cum laude, you know, all the top grades. They get all the top marks, and or A students in schools. Those are people, these people on slide are like them. So, and I'm very glad to be reading out this list. So we have Maya Yashkina, then Kanibetova Janat, Tony Pipes, top 3, top 2, Simona Petrova. And top 1 is Oleg Turanov. Congratulations, dear friends. You've become the best students in terms of the completion of your homework. Those of you who did not do your homework, you know where to go to. If you still have homework that isn't yet done, this is the top 5 people that did all of their homework. So just do talk to each other. And I'm sure you have all the contact details in your groups. Our Telegram chats will be also up and running for you to talk to each other, because this is a very important component. And as Yulia said, do not leave the groups after the marathon, because we're going to work together, we're going to grow and support each other. And one more top 5 is the people who showed active results. So by active results, I mean people who are very active in social media, who are very active during our sessions, people who always patched in the beginning of the marathon when we asked them to tell us about their impressions, about their homework, etc. Those are the people who showed excellent results in making sales to newly registered partners. And also those are people who increased their ranks. The top 5 people that you see on your screen, they are the aggregation of all the top people in all the nominations. So, and on your screens you can see our winners who grew in ranks, were active, helped other people, were active in social media, and supported our marathon. Let me read out their names. 5th place is Dallas Watkins. 4th place, Fallen Seumanutafa. 3rd place, Mekibayeva Shailo. 2nd place, Valentina Meshkova. And the 1st place, guys, let's give it up. Let's make some noise for Natalia Bakuta. Now we are very glad that we have such strong leaders and partners who did take the theory that we taught and applied it into practice. Because only when we apply our knowledge into practice are we able to achieve our results. Because if we have knowledge and keep it to ourselves and never use it, we turn into a library. But if we use our knowledge, especially when we teach other people that knowledge, then we grow and we help other people. And that's why I would like to congratulate you all. And we decided to have some additional gifts to those 3 top 5s, because those are our finalists who showed the best result in our 8 months marathon. And we're not going only to give you the game Genius of Finance mentioned by Armand and Andrew. We're not only going to give you the tickets to Eric Worre's training for those who would like to develop business marketing business, but also drums. Also, we're going to give you 8,000 our beloved CRUs points. So this is our gift to you from our company for your active participation, for your help, and for helping us make this marathon an incredible and unforgettable event. I'm very glad that we have a very solid team made over the 8 months of the marathon. And as Jamila said, we were not only able to withstand all the difficulties, but we broke new records. And because of that, I would like to congratulate you all. And now I would like to give the floor to the person who inspires us all, who is behind the idea of this company, and the person we all love and respect and would like to be closer to. And I'm very glad that Andre himself participated in the marathon sessions, in the mentorship calls, although he's a CEO and he's very busy in all other projects, but he always found time for each of us. Participate in the mentor calls, help with topics. He provided help with presentations and contents. He meticulously picked himself the topics he thought were necessary for you. And this is a great honor. And I'm very glad that Andrei Howratov has personal involvement in all of our projects of our company as well. And he would like us develop even faster, bigger, and set more ambitious goals, and most importantly, achieve those goals and dreams. Andrei, you have the floor. Hello, dear friends. This is sound check as usual. The sound is okay? Okay, guys, give me a score from 1 to 10 on the quality of the sound, with the 1 meaning poor sound. Great, dear friends. Now, I would like to congratulate you all who crossed the finish line. Well, it's not the finish line per se, because the finish line will be at the marathon's end, you know. And I realize, like a child who is born in 9 months, that's what happens when a person is with a person who comes to a new company. Even if they are a leader, even if they are an expert, they still need some adaptation period. And this adaptation period takes 8 or 9 months. Now it's been, on the 2nd of October, it's gonna be 8 months exactly. Then on the 2nd of November, it's gonna be 9 months. And I'm sure that even if you're a leader, or if you started with us as a newcomer, as a beginner who never worked in the multi-level business before, investment business before, I'm sure those people will be born again as leaders in 9 months. And I would like to congratulate you on that, because the participation in the marathon and the creation of the marathon was a significant event. I remember in January we discussed with the Presidential Council whether we should do it offline or online, because many of us were used to offline. And I remember I insisted and did my best to prove that we need to have this event online, that we're gonna cover a lot of people We need to teach our newcomers, and our leaders should be the teachers. And that choice was correct, because if we made it an offline event and people would pay, and if we paid for hotels and the conference rooms, imagine what would happen if we did that. Because of the lockdown, this money would be simply wasted. And also, when the lockdown was imposed, the quarantine was imposed, especially in March, a lot of people joined us, and we did not simply give them hope, but we gave them real instruments in their hands, so that first, they would make money in the home environment. Second of all, preserve it, and then multiply it. And we showed everyone, as Andrew said today, Armand said too, that we are one of the few projects out there which gives a lot of importance to training, and most importantly, online training. And the fact that we're going to have our event online too, it is also an indicator of the fact that we are running ahead of the entire planet in the system of multi-level business. And as for the multi-level crowd investing business, then we have no competitors. We're the only company that essentially is doing that. And many of our colleagues and partners, many of our people that we worked with and helped them move forward, they use today the system, a similar system to ours, but of course to a smaller scale, while our scale is really big. When I mention hundreds of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars and the creation of assets within the next 4-8 years until the 2024, 2028 or 2030, to have our assets worth more than $100 trillion. And for that, in those 4, 8, 10 years, we need to raise around $10 trillion, of which 5, 6, 7 trillion will go for the purchase of assets. And at the same time, not just purchase of assets, but the assets that will yield monthly and then even daily dividends, profit bonuses, that will increase every year because of the increase in the number of businesses that we're going to have. And without understanding, without having the financial literacy, you won't be able to do anything with it. When I talk to other top leaders in other companies that went into online business and now they go back to the MLM business, and not just MLM business, but crowd investing business, you start talking to them and you realize why people go into the multi-level crowd investing. There is one simple reason. All of the network marketers with 20, 30 years of experience made millions of dollars. But if you take a look at their assets, well, some of them have an apartment, some of them have a house, some of them have a car or two, and that's it. And they don't know what assets even are. Many of them don't know it. What we give basic knowledge in the area of investment, which is most important here. And in 2011, I remember when I created the Academy of Private Investors, the main goal of the Academy back then was enlightening people in financial and investment literacy. And I remember that after the first session, which is the Destiny and Calling, at the first session, I identified my own calling. And I woke up, I saw the dream that on the website of the Academy of Private Investors, I have 1 billion users. I woke up and I thought, yeah, that's my mission. That's my goal, because I'm really excited about such figures, about such numbers. And I was also excited by the fact that I can provide my knowledge to those people. And working in the marketing system, you cannot really knock to the doors of 1 billion people. Even the biggest social networks like Facebook, how did they get their hands on 1 billion users? It's not because Mark Zuckerberg sent email letters with the invitations to all of the users. No, there were people who came in first, and then they dragged along a lot of their friends who started using that social network too. And I also realized that for me to convey the information to a huge number of people, you need at first to find people who like investing, who would like to study the laws of preservation and multiplication of money, because the first rule of the investor is to preserve, and the second important rule of the investor is to multiply. And one of the most important points in our activity and creation of global portfolio is to teach how to preserve the money that you already make, which is put aside 10% of your income. It's the first commandment of a private investor. And when 1 billion people really learn our 8 basic rules of private investors, which is the foundation, I assure you, when they do, and if you help them get this information, they will be in our company for sure. At first, they will be as a client, simple investor, and then as a business partner who will realize that thanks to this business, they can increase their portfolio even more. They can have even more assets, and the more assets they have, the bigger the income. This is the classics conveyed by Robert Kiyosaki in his books. The rich person's flow is not because they have in billions and billions of dollars, but because they live in the correct financial flow. They have assets and liabilities, income and expenditure, and they increase their assets by putting aside 10%. They invest at 10%, which creates even more income, and therefore his income is growing exponentially from their assets. Now his activities become his calling, his destiny, while the assets can yield a passive income, which is even bigger than his main business. So when we started supporting the multi-level crowd investing project, that's where we had people first in our academy, and then outside the academy too, when we built our network, because a network is a basic element in the marketing. Because thanks to the multi-level marketing, you have a fast dissemination of information, no matter about what this information is, be it investments, products, or some services, but immediately this information grows. Now here, you need to understand and know investing. The second important thing that you need to know is the building multi-level marketing business. The multi-level marketing system today is so popular in the world, especially in view of the coronavirus crisis and the pandemic. Lots of people started going back to the multi-level business again, and the authors of many articles, of many different YouTube channels, in Instagram, if you go and take a look, you will see that business coaches sooner or later come into multi-level companies, inevitably. And we also, our community, our company provides the best opportunities for that too. And most importantly, what you need to understand here, dear friends, is that you do not only need to understand investing, but also you need to understand the geopolitical movements. And especially, and I would like to touch upon this topic today, this is the last topic of the marathon. Could we please switch on to the next slide, which is the economic crisis, geopolitics, pandemics, collapses, and why they happen. They do not happen by chance. And I personally was expecting a global crisis, global collapse in 2018. Moreover, experts wrote about it. Famous, renowned experts. Robert Kiyosaki mentioned it more than once. In 2017, already it should have been it should have started. But because the Federal Reserve System of the United States printed a lot of dollars, they supported the economy. Yes, the foreign debt even grew even more, and in many countries, central banks depend on US dollars. Hence, they were able to pass on those debts to those countries. But in Switzerland, they adopted Basel III document, where gold became on par with such currencies as dollar and euro. Therefore, the collapse of the American economy became inevitable. But in that year, maybe you recollect the webinars that I conducted, the first steps in private investing. I'm sure they are translated by now. I remember back then I said the collapse is inevitable and it will start this year. And all the indicators of the technical analysis, fundamental analysis proved that. But what happened this year compared to the previous crisis? Because in the previous crises, the origin of them were not by chance, and I wanted to convey this thought to you. They were artificially made to ensure certain control, certain management. And another purpose of a crisis is purification, is to remove the old and give way to something new. But mostly those crises were artificial. How they happened? Look, for a country to develop, they need investors, that's for sure. And to attract investments, the state needs to guarantee to the investor that we assure you that we have a very good investment climate. And usually that climate set in when the geopolitical conditions were favorable, especially after the Cold War and the collapse of the Soviet Union. New countries were now available for investors, the Eastern Europe, Asia, and the economy, the global economy, the driver of which is the United States of America, the United States dollar. They entered those markets, like African countries, Asian countries too, and using geopolitics, the Western economy comes to a certain market and they create the favorable investment climate. And most importantly, when third world countries were accessed by the Western economy, let's call it that, the American dollar came in as the main currency and the state guaranteed high return on that investment, on those investments. And that's where the most interesting numbers happen. The rate, and by rate here, I mean what the state gives or guarantees. The interest rate is the money that the state guarantees to you for giving your money to them. It's like to promote the banking system and the economy in general. So global interest rate, if you go and take a look, for example, at the United States, it's like 0.25%, if I'm not mistaken, or even 0.75%. In Japan, it's 0.15%. In Europe, it's, I think, 1% tops. What it means is that investors sell their money at 1%, and that money is resold to businesses and local banks much higher. For example, they take it at 1% and they resell it at 2%. And that's what happened in the third world countries when they bought money at 5% per year and resold it inside the country at 8-10% per year to the banks, whereas the banks resold those loans even higher at 12 or 15%. That's what happens in Europe. They buy at 1% from investors, the central bank, and then they resell it at 1%, 1.5% to local banks, and the banks give those loans to businesses at 2.5% per year. Therefore, in the United States, Canada, and Australia, mortgages were really, really low. So when the geopolitics environment is favorable to the Western economy, credits guaranteed come in, and those credits or loans are bought at 5% from the investor. And imagine when the United States, Australia, Canada have like 0.5% interest rate, 0.25 or even 1%, and then the third world countries with the economy of 45% of the global economy, that money is sold at 5%. Well, let's do the math. So 1% you buy and you sell, and then you sell it at 5% in the third world countries. So 4% is your net income. Who could tell me 4% if you buy at 1% and sell at 5%? So what's the percentage here? Who can tell me in net right now? You can write it right away. Who doesn't know, take your calculator and I will help you. 5% minus 1, it's 4% divided by 1, multiplied by 100. It's 400% per year. Can you imagine? This is the money, the financial system, the Western financial system weighed on third world countries. This is a lot of speculation. Incredible, insane speculation. They bought at 5% and resold at 8%. It's like 60-80% per year. While the banks inside resold those loans at 12, 15, even 20% per year. So doesn't it resemble a financial pyramid to you? Guys, let's have a show of hands or give me a plus and you think that it's a financial pyramid. You buy at 1%, you sell it at 5%, and then the business, the final user, the end user, buys it at 12%. It's a legalized financial pyramid, nothing else. So what the credits are given for? When you need to jumpstart a local economy, everything goes well, and I noticed it, and we often discussed it, that every 8-10 years, there were some economic crises. In my experience in the post-Soviet countries, the first crisis was in 1988. I was 20 back then. I did experience partly that crisis. It was tightly linked to the collapse of the Soviet Union. But because of that crisis, we had cooperatives. We never had private business. We finally had it. In the Asian countries, a serious crisis hit in 1976, 1978, very serious crisis. Then in 1988, a very serious crisis was in store for the entire global economic system, but then the Soviet Union collapsed, and in early 90s, 1991, 1990, when the Soviet Union collapsed and the entire Soviet socialistic system collapsed, which was 40-45% of the global economy, including China and India. Then you can do the math, how nicely it was done. And I wanted to draw your attention to the next following fact. When I, as a country, let's assume that we're a big country and we need an investor and we guarantee favorable investment client, and we guarantee that every investor is protected. And then money starts pouring in. Production facilities work, employment goes up, economy develops, people receive their salary grows from year to year, and it entails what? It entails inflation growth. So if the inflation grows, and as soon as the inflation gets bigger than 8%, as soon as it exceeds 8%, what the economic world system does, it starts, just think about it, It's artificial crisis, man-caused crisis. They start withdrawing investments from the country because of the 8% inflation, with the average inflation of 4 or 5%. But the real inflation over the 30 years period is 150%. But the inflation they show us and the global economic system, it's 4 or 5% is the average inflation. As soon as it goes over 8%, something needs to be done. And the first thing they do, they withdraw investment money from the country. So poor businessmen and entrepreneurs who take lots of loans to develop their economy, they have to pay on their loans, and all of a sudden an economic crisis hits because the money is withdrawn from the country. Companies need to pay their salaries, pay for their materials, and they can't. And that's where the economic crisis hits. So in geopolitics, this is done to buy any country cheap. What is happening now in the world, using the pandemic too, and why I'm saying this, what am I driving at? In order to rectify the economy, the financial world elite buys all those factories and plants cheap. They take those business people's businesses, and then again have an influx of investment. They change the president in that country because the previous president wasn't able to handle the difficulties. They put up a new president, they give loans again, and the whole song starts all over, you know, and it was done for many decades. But in 2018, the world collapse should have happened. But they printed lots of money, like $2 trillion. And in January this year, they printed literally on their printing machines. They printed $2 trillion more, and global elite, financial elite, caused a lot of crisis in the world just using the pretense of the pandemic. So the pandemic that we're having right now is artificially grown. It's like a technology of making people sick, which hit the entire global economy. Why? Because the global economy did not follow the script that they wanted to follow according to the financial emperor's plan. And why didn't it follow their plan? Everything was bad in the beginning of the year. If you go and read all the news, there were very good news when Trump signed with China a very serious agreement for the supply of certain goods, soy in this case, for $180 billion. It was not just printed money, it was real economy. So the real economy was put into operation. And I remember late January, it was either on the 15th or 18th of January, I said, most probably there will be no crisis this year because the contracts for $180 billion was made. And then in May, they should have made a contract for $250 billion. So this was the saving of the American economy. But since many countries depend on the American economy, it was their saving as well. And we saw that in late January, they imposed lockdown in China, which then spreads across the entire world. Now, what it means, dear friends, if we talk about the geopolitics and global economy, what happens is the following. Every country, when they need money, you need at first to take them from somewhere, from the financial emperors. They should be either be printed as dollars or backed by gold. And if today you go and look at all the dollars issued in the world and turn them into gold, then the dollar today should be, I think, $4, $5, $10 should be 1 ounce of gold worth because too many dollars were printed. But what happens, for example, what if we mention the alternative here? Could you please switch on to the next slide? I don't want to look at this ugly picture anymore. Next slide, please. Okay. Now take a look how the growth of the economy can happen. Really simple. If in any country, let's say the United States, 250 million people, of which 150 are adult population. Now, if the United States need money and the government says, guys, we need money, we are ready to take you as co-owners in different corporations and companies on this and this term, on these and these terms, with monthly dividend payments. Not just your shares will grow in price, because the share price growth is also a very serious scam as well. You know why? Because Apple recently was almost $2 trillion. Now they are 1.5 trillion. So let's take Apple. The main assets that they have are worth $250 billion. So the company's value is 1.5 trillion, whereas the main assets value, the movable, immovable property that you can sell off or use, etc., is worth 250 billion, which is already 6 times smaller than their market value. And also there are such things as assets, real assets, which generate money, and they have only 100 billion worth of assets. You can look it up in Wikipedia online. Amazon, the same. Amazon's worth is more than $1 trillion. Tesla, more than $1 trillion too. But of course, they're doing a different calculation there. Facebook, almost more than $1 trillion. With Facebook, it's more or less clear. Facebook is an interesting thing because there are lots of people in it. But Facebook recently also is ceasing to become a partner of people, but becomes like a punitive authority. Facebook and YouTube and many other channels and companies that have a lot of community, lots of communities. Those companies have huge capitalizations that is calculated based on the number of people in their community. But if we take Apple, and if all of a sudden, and their capitalization is 1.5 trillion, and they have only 100 billion dollars worth of assets, just split it across the total issue of issues. That will be the real value of the company. Whereas if we talk about the dividend income that Apple pays every quarter, it's the only company in the world that pays dividends every quarter. It's not much. Last year it was 2% per year. In some quarter it would be 1.5%. Sometimes it's quite a normal thing for such companies, but nevertheless, we see the biggest scam in the world, I think, because the share price are overestimated. If you sell all the shares on auction, they should cost 15 or 20 times less. And second of all, the dividend income per share is too small. The dividends are too small. Well, Apple, it's 3, 4, maybe even 7% per year. This is quite good because the pension funds in the world today, if you get 1-2% per year, it's already, you're lucky. And pensioners deposit that money really with great pleasure. And I would like to unveil one thing here for you guys. We're going to create a hedge fund with the 8 to 15% return on your investments. So we'll have a lot of pension funds coming to our hedge fund that we're going to create. We're going to have a European, Canadian, Australian, sorry, not hedge funds, pension funds, because the pension fund is really good. So it's going to be like an alternative. We're not going to replace the existing ones because those pension funds are managed by the financial emperors. We're going to have an alternative to pension funds, but we will be able to manage the funds of the pension funds and also pay them an interest. And we have also plans how to dispose of that money and how to put it to good use. Now, the reason I'm saying this, if we say, for example, 150 million people in the United States, and you need money to raise the economy, say 150 million people multiplied by $1,000 makes $150 billion that people can use to finance monthly their own economy. You don't need to print money. The reason I'm saying this is the era arrived when people themselves in the community are the printing machine. But here we need very good, strong knowledge in investing for people to be adequately understand it. And then the proposals coming from the public entities and private entities, they need to understand them. And thirdly, there is such a thing, and I remember in the Soviet Union we had it, it's so-called public control or people's control. People could come to a company and check their financials, the balance sheet, the audit reports. People's controllers, they were very much afraid. They were very much, they intimidated a lot of companies. And then when the Soviet Union collapsed, they were replaced by local princes, local tycoons. And what happened to the United States, to the Soviet Union, might happen to the United States too, but hopefully it won't. I hope that the United States will stay and preserve their sovereignty, preserve their integrity. But what I see is going on right now is this is the result of the workings of the financial emperors, the way they did 30 years ago and collapsed, made the Soviet Union collapse. And I think now they want the United States to collapse as well. So you might ask me, why am I protecting the United States, etc., because the entire global economy depends on the United States. And if something bad happens to them, it will affect the entire global economy. Let me assure you 100% here. Therefore, naturally, many states, presidents, and the whole situation in the world. Of course, normal people would like the good forces win in this war, and the good forces in the United States to win as well. In Europe too, the current leaders, they do work for the interests of financial emperors in many countries who need chaos, need destruction, and divide and emperor, divide and conquer. So because these more small cities they have, the better. So the more different currencies you have, the better is for them, And one of the most important reasons why it's happening is because people first are financially illiterate and investment illiterate, and second of all, they're very exposed to informational pressure that is existing in all mass media in the world. Could we switch on to the next slide, please? And again, let's take India with more than 1 billion people, or China. And if 50%, let's say, or 30% of the population, adult population, who work and move forward, imagine 300 million people in India, which is a middle class in India and in China too, multiply it by $1,000 per year, it's $300 billion is the amount of money people can finance to support their economy. So new economic evolution of the world, new in my understanding, in 2008-07, when I first came up with this nice notion, and many people to whom I say NEEMi, which is in Russian, NEEMi, in English it's new. When I told them, they said, what a nice name. And it was created for us to be able to be the driving force, the locomotive of many, many economies across the world, help them grow, develop, not through revolutions, because any revolution is linked to destruction, but through evolution. And all the academic courses that we have, including the Marathon MLCI 260, were intended to prepare you for that information. Because if all of a sudden you get all those riches and wealth, or even if you know, for example, if you didn't have that knowledge and the skills, you would be totally not following me right now. But now we start feeling, literally feeling, not understanding alone, but feeling the global economy. And because of all the knowledge and the practical exercises that we take both in multi-level business and investment business, we show and we prove that we can now feel the economy, including the economy, both of the economy of our company and the economy of the country that we live in. So the main task of the new economic evolution of the world, our consumer community, is for people to become financially literate, because any revolution happening in the world and any revolution whatsoever is destruction. Revolution happens because the elite cannot live according to the new ways, and the old or the grassroots cannot live according to the old ways. But evolution will eventually create the conditions so that elite will have to move aside. We're talking about the changes in the economic system for its benefit. It starts developing and progressing. I prepared a very powerful training. We're going to have it during second and third session at our event. It's called The Business or the Cause of Life, where I will talk about the importance of finding your cause of life, your calling, your destiny. Because when you find your calling, then you find your place on this planet. And when you find your place, it's like a small gear in a big mechanism, in a big machine. Because every gear, even in the biggest or piston or even the smallest element of a big system, is crucial. And this element is our personality, rich personality, conscientious personality that found its place in this life. And then we'll be able to launch the rapid growth of economic development and what happens today in the world in the next 10 years. And that's why we put our plans, that we would like to have our plans implemented in the next 4, 8, 10 years to create the new economic evolution of the world. And we can do that through financial literacy. And for that, we need 15% of the global population within our ranks as our clients, as our partners. And then every one of them have like 2, 3, 4 family members. And here you go, it's 50% of the global population. And thanks to that, we can bring peace, prosperity, riches, happiness, success in every household. Because it's not possible when one person is rich or successful and the rest of the people are not, because sooner or later the poor will start rioting and will dispose the rich one. And therefore, we need to create a system where everyone has its place and everyone has equal opportunities to choose. And if a person wants to live better, then they will live better, because for everyone, a better life is different. For someone, it's a 300 square meters villa on a hectare of land. And for someone, a better life is a castle with 1,500 square meters footage area. But it is possible only if we bring big value to the current. When the economic system brings value to the entire planet. And be a decent person at the same time, someone wrote in the chat. But decency is a relative term. Someone thinks that decency is this, how they behave. And for someone else, this is not decency. Therefore, the issue of decency is relative. But if we have a system in which the more value you create for others, the higher you become, the higher you raise. If you do not create benefits and value for others, but you like a parasite and you are on top of others, then this system cannot develop and go on. So in this marathon, MLCI Marathon 260, we received knowledge how to become a person who creates value for themselves and for others. And the more value you create for others, for the surrounding people, the higher you will get, or the higher you will be raised by the economy. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, created a huge corporation that create unique opportunities thanks to their developments. Not even Steve Jobs developed himself, but thanks to his PR campaign and charisma, because he was the inspiring force behind it. Now we are able to talk to each other across different continents and having these webinars. Even Zoom wouldn't be now available to us if Steve Jobs did not create those technologies back then. Well, Bill Gates, I think, stole a lot of those technologies from Steve Jobs, and that's how he made lots of money. And now he's like a persona non grata in many people's eyes. Although Windows was created as a competitive environment, but the main creator behind these whole computer things was Steve Jobs. And another thing that Steve Jobs gave birth to, a brainchild, is smartphones. When using this small device, whereas remember previously our phone was only intended to make calls, today it's our phone, it's our camera, it's our business device. It's like a business. It's a device that helps us do our business using these smartphones, laptops, PCs, etc. So this is proof enough that a person is risen higher. Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook. Yes, today it's a usurper's network like YouTube. And YouTube is also an important element in the humanities development. And when something is created which is of big use for other people and they use it, then this is the confirmation of the value that this technology brought to the world. The next values that we're going to implement, thanks to our new, will be announced on the 1st of October. But I can tell you something already. With our data mining partners, it was in our plans originally, but they already started developing it. Very interesting things, because YouTube, Instagram, social networks available today, Google, today they are. And yesterday, I saw a video, maybe you saw it too, when a person wanted to order a pizza, and instead of giving them a pizza, they accused him of having illicit income. And most probably, police will be coming to his doorstep for having illicit income. And he just wanted to order a pizza. It might be a joke, but that's what we're going, that's where we're approaching to. And we are striving for financial freedom. And how can we be free without the freedom of information? And what we decided to do with data mining, digital doubles, and the creation of those technologies. And you will hear about them at our event session on the first day. We created a unique thing that is already existing in YouTube, social networks, but it's going to be a free thing, independent. And we're not going to interfere with any other businesses. We're just providing an alternative to the free development of society. And it turns out, previously nobody thought about it, but we now realize that we're starting being restricted, limited in many of our things. Like recently in YouTube, I received a letter from YouTube that once again I do something like that, they will switch off my channel and deactivate. And I said, what? I just had a link to an MLM assembly, and somebody stole that website, and now they have scammers there, and they warned me that I was like an accomplice. And they said, we like forgive you because it's your first time, but then we're gonna penalize you. And I was surprised, you know. And the technology for creating the new consumer community is very important element in the development, and we should be progressive personalities. Look, we had more than 3,000 people overall attending our marathon, with 1,500 people, active users, active participants. We have more than 700,000 active accounts with CRU points in them. We have more than 800,000 just partners. Guys, if every partner who registered with us would invite just one person into our business, just be a client, then every month, per month, then we'd had 700,000 new users every month. And if, even with the 100,000 people, if they installed data mining, on average, on my account, for now, it's LinkedIn, then on the 1st of October, you'll hear what new social networks will be connected. Just imagine, in 1 year, it could have been, I would have 10,000 friends. If one person has 10,000 friends and we have 100,000 data miners, so do the math, 100,000 multiplied by 10,000 is, it's 1 billion. No, let me do the math again. 100,000 multiplied by 10,000. It is 1 billion. Yeah, it's 1 billion. It's 1 billion people. So we would have 1 billion people by the end of the year. We have access to 1 billion people, which stands for our own network, social network, our own YouTube, Instagram, or whatever we call it. So when you receive Genius of Finance, you will see one of the business proposals in that game is called Social Networks New Life 10 in 1. It's a social network, video channel, conferences, banking, etc. It's 10 in 1. So you can invest in that in that business proposal. It's like our business ideas to be implemented in future. So dear friends, marathon graduates, let me congratulate you. And please, oh please, just understand that we're not just doing business here and making money. We're just not helping other people. Our objective is to be knowing investors, conscientious investors, be progressive personalities, and most importantly, bring value to the global community and help develop this planet, for this planet to remain prosperous, young, beautiful, continuously recovering, because we have lots of nice places, oceans. Ocean is still like an uncharted territory, and because people think about their daily bread, they forget about their calling, about their cause of life. And we will talk about it during session 2 and 3. Now, dear friends, again, I congratulate you on graduating this training course, and we have a surprise in store for you. I would like to give the floor back to Armand. Armand, could you please patch in and say something? So what is in store for us on the 1st or the 2nd of October? While Armand is connecting, I want to tell you, dear friends, those of you who haven't yet purchased Eventi 2020, this is going to be a major yearly event. You're going to hear incredible news. You will hear what is the real investment assessment of our company. You will see the news that will literally astound you, because we will show some serious growth this year, rapid growth until the end of the year. Yes, there are some, nuances, let's call them that. And our internal exchange is experiencing problems because there were people who decided to bypass the rules of trading. They developed bots and were disrupting our work, but we are restoring the whole system. And people asked me whether the promotion for staking is going to be extended 8% per year, 8% for 1 year. Yes, it will be extended for the duration of the maintenance works on our internal exchange. So don't worry, we're taking care of all those things. Now, dear friends, I also wanted to add that it depends on us what we're going to implement, what we're going to do, and not only your life, but the life of many other people on planet Earth, because it is up to us whether we're going to allow continue happening what is just happening in geopolitics. And for example, our interpreters are thinking about moving to Europe or Moscow, because in Belarus they might turn off their internet again, and they are our core personnel for the event. So we can't do without them. They are translating from different languages, helping us talk to each other. And this is quite an unpleasant thing, really. And it depends on all of us, all those things, you know. So if Armand is not here, but he's here, I should tell him, right? And
Yes, I'm here.
I couldn't see you, Armand. Please show yourself.
1, 2, 3. I'm here in English group.
Я здесь в английской. Then I give you the floor.
Next. Am I next, Armand?
Okay, guys. Did Andre finish? Dennis?
Да, он передал вам слово.
Okay, so thank you very much, Andre, for your wisdom. Guys, I know that the chat is not working, but in the Q&A, press 1 or say something that if you really enjoyed this journey, if you really enjoyed the last session that right now Andreya Hovratova just shared with us, really valuable knowledge. Because, you know, when first time I started to look into the investment field, I realized that without the political information, without the financial information, so it's impossible to let's say, to create your portfolio. It's impossible to trace your portfolio. And what Andre is sharing with us, this is a real wisdom coming from the heaven. And I believe that there will be more and more for us to learn from him and from all the other speakers who are also sharing amazing knowledge. So before we will end this session, I would like to just quickly give you some heads up about what actually you get today. So everybody knows what is a crypto unit, right? If you know what is a crypto unit and what value it will bring in a couple of years time or for entire life, so just, I don't know, clap, put your hands together and just cheer a little bit yourself. But those people who get the genius of finance game, so you know that that will be just a simulator for you to create the different situations where you will be able to, let's say, practicing more and more how to do the great deals, how to avoid some situations, how to get into the businesses and all the other stuff that you will be learning from this amazing genius of finance. And one more time, I really appreciate, and I want you guys to know who is behind it. Behind the genius of finance game is our CEO, Andreya Hovratova. And the last one, but not the least, you heard today that many of us said that you will be getting the ticket, that will be the online ticket for the GoPro, which will take place in December. So let me just a little bit explain you what is a GoPro and why I'm so happy that you will be there. I will be there 100%. GoPro, that is, let's say, the place where all the companies which are related to the network marketing, they are coming together and they are learning from each other. So imagine that all of you probably get the big value from this marathon, right? But in this marathon, so we had maybe, I don't know, like 50 people who were actually sharing the knowledge. On the GoPro, so there will be additional hundreds of people who will be also sharing their practical skills, knowledge, Some of them has 30, 40 years, 20, 30, and even 40 years experience in network marketing. So that network marketing started in 2000, I believe 2008. That's what Eric told me, probably like about 10, 11 years ago. So 2009. At that time, there was only 200 people. Last year, there was 20,000 people. So this is amazing. 75 millionaires were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And thank you very much for all of you who are supporting this company, because of you last year, I had the privilege to be inducted in that Hall of Fame. If you want to learn from the millionaires, from the action takers, from those people who have really developed their skills, who have really developed their mindset, if you want to learn directly from them, that this is what this ticket is all about. But more than that, you know that right now this pandemic and this coronavirus is actually breaking, let's say, the original pattern, and we will not going to be able to fly to Las Vegas like we are doing this every single year, I think already for 4 or 5 years in a row. But you know that if something bad is happening, then we need to get something good out of it. And here's the thing, the Eric Worre is putting together the 360 degrees, the screens, and they are planning to have 150,000 people plus. So which means that, guys, we will be able to participate on the first biggest online event for those who already won the tickets. If you don't have the ticket, so then get in touch with your leaders, and we will definitely find a way how we will be able to get it. So plus, which is what is very important for you to also, let's say, to understand, is that there will be like a Zoom room, and 300 people needs to be in the one Zoom room. So once we are 300 people in the one Zoom room, we will not going to have anyone else in that Zoom room. So that will be our room, and we will be, let's say, applying all the knowledge and the practical things which will be coming from the speakers. We will apply into the practice, and we can share that within our Zoom room, and also later on we can discuss different strategies. Also, who is let's say supporting this kind of events? So the GoPro and Eric Worre himself, so he had for the past years people like Richard Branson, people like Robert Kiyosaki, people like Magic Johnson. Also, there was a Pitbull, Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, and many, many, many more, let's say, very well-known people. And this year, there will be also the celebrity speakers, and you will be able to learn directly from them. Right now, they are not announcing who will be the celebrity speakers, but I can tell you this, that every time when I went there, I learned something, I implemented, and my results today are just probably visible for everyone. So also those people who were following my steps, because me and Mila, I think we were the first people who went to the GoPro just to try it, right? How many of you actually came to Marathon to try it? Press plus in your questions and answers. So how many of you came to Marathon to try it? And now you see the real value. So the same was with us, and then we invited our leaders, and as Andrew Hawks said, that he had a privilege actually to be beyond leadership training, so which is let's say for the small groups organized, and we see the really big results, right? So if you would like to be one of the next top key trainers, speakers, if you want to develop yourself in this industry, not just like Mila said, I would say the followers, but if you want to be really, you know, fully engaged, then this present, what you get today, GoPro virtual event ticket, you are the only people right now who have it, but all the other people, if you will decide to be there, so then please get in touch with us and we will definitely together will attend this event. So one more time, guys, congratulations. The last words that I want to say that every single one of you act from the certainty, because right now you see that a lot of you develop the skills. All what you need to do now to implement, to get the results, you need to start to act from the certainty. Be certain what you're doing. Be certain about what you learn and what you experience. And I'm guaranteeing you that you will be the next top speakers. You will be the next $1 million Hall of Fame members. You will be the first $1 billion Hall of Fame members. And I'm congratulating all of you who finished this marathon. Thank you. And I will give back a word for Harin Arun. Harin, you heard today that you were the trigger for the person who actually came to the, let's say, marathon to try. And now you can see that his testimonial was about you. He heard you, he realized that this is a real, and this is something what will be changing his life. Thank you very much, my friend. The floor is yours. Have a lovely day, week, and see you on the event 2020. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Armand. That was wonderful. I am actually, you know what, I got no words to say.
I'm sorry. Andre is speaking. He said, as far as I know, we have someone on the first or the second from GoPro at our event. I thought that's what you were going to mention.
Yeah, I'm speaking about event.
У нас Харин сейчас об эвенте будет говорить, Андрей Федорович. Yeah, I get, but what about the celebrity that we were going to invite from GoPro at our event? We were supposed to mention this too. Who is going to be? No?
Yes, Harin will be talking about it, about Eric.
Okay, then. I'm sorry, Harin. Then I'm passing the floor to you, guys. We're going to meet in October. We'll have just be on the watch out for the qualified investor training courses and the investment consultant courses. Our goal this year already to prepare as many investment consultants as possible, because we are in need of those professionals in the field. So guys, if you see that you have the potential for investment consulting, then you should take the training in investment literacy for you to be investment consultants across all our regions. So Harin, you have the floor. Bye-bye. See you on the 1st of October at Avanti.
Again, thank you, Andre. We love you, Andre. Thank you so much for coming. And you know what? Yes, as Andre has mentioned, and Armand says, fired it up and give us the hints. Andrew Hawks today had a wonderful phone call this morning with Mr. GoPro himself. And when I say Mr. GoPro, he actually earned that name with 10 years of experience in the network marketing field with his own program called GoPro, which happens in Las Vegas. I had the opportunity to be there 2 times, and Andrew popped the question right there on the call. Mr. GoPro, would you like to be part of our event? And he said, absolutely anything for you guys. So it is my humble, and I'm humbled to share this. Andrew Hawks, Armand's, you guys been with Eric Worre's friend, but Andrew popped the question this morning, and Eric Worre himself said, yes, I know the chat function is not working. However, in Q&As, please put your messages out there. Again, Andre, thank you so much. I truly enjoyed the geopolitics topic, and being in the investment department, you always know how to keep us, in check and keep up with the world. If I can have the next slide in every single room, that would be amazing. Congratulations to the best. We are not only giving to those people who have achieved, but you know what? This is awesome. I'm going to tell you guys, okay? I'm going to tell you guys this absolute secret information, okay? Those participants who did 50% or more of their homework will receive an Eventi celebration ticket and also for the masterclass. So, long story short, you are going to receive, if you did 50% or more of your homework, the EIP Ultimate Pack that gives you access to day 1, which is our session 1, which is an 8-hour-long celebration, along with the focused masterclass with our wonderful company leaders for 2 of the sessions. And also, congratulations to the best receivers of Offline Eventi 2021 tickets. You know, everyone is pretty much going to get the event ticket, you know, the offline Eventi ticket. And I'm coming up the next slide for everyone. If you see your name here, you have made it. This is like the wall of fame of our Eventi. Every single person here has done really well. And
I'm sorry, Harin, let's make it clear again. So all of those who made more than 50% of their homework are going to receive Ultimate Pack for Eventi 2020, correct?
Correct.
Давайте еще раз.
Everyone who participated in marathon this year and did 50% or more of their homework will receive an Eventi Ultimate Pack. All right. And for congratulations for every single person who successfully completed the Marathon 260, you will have a ticket for Eventi 2021, which is going to happen next year, and more details to follow up on that. As if we can have the next slide again, this is the wall of fame. If you see your name there, that means you have qualified. There is 3 slides, 4 slides actually. We can get every single one to slowly show that. While the name search is going on, I am humbled to again thank our wonderful CEO Andreya Howratava himself for coming along today and giving us wonderful content, and every single speaker. I'm going to share one news with you guys. If you go to your back office under the API tab, if you go to EIPs, you will see the Eventi tickets are available for sale right now. It just went on in the less than 30 minutes ago. So it's time for you to jump after this call to get your Eventi 2020 tickets. And you know what, guys? That's pretty much what I wanted to tell you guys. The tickets are ready for sale. I'm going to finish off with a couple of things as I usually do. This is never assume you're going to fail, guys. During a research experiment, a marine biologist placed a shark in a large holding tank and then released several small baits into the tank. As you would expect, the shark quickly swam around the tank, attacked, and ate the smaller fish. The marine biologist then inserted a strong piece of clear fiberglass into the tank, creating 2 separate partitions. She then put the shark on one side of the fiberglass and a new set of baits on the other. Again, the shark quickly attacked.
I'm sorry, Harry, you need to slow down. This is too quick. Please, I mean, start over.
No worries, my brother.
Yeah,
start over? Should I start over?
Start over, please, yes.
All right, so simply, guys, during an experiment, the marine biologist placed a shark in a large tank and then released several small baits into a tank. As you would expect, the shark quickly swam around the tank, attacked, and ate the smaller fish. The marine biologist then inserted a strong piece of clear fiberglass into the tank, creating 2 separate partitions. She then put the shark again on one side of the fiberglass and new set bait of fish on the other. Again, the shark quickly attacked. This time, however, the shark slammed into the fiberglass divider and bounced off. The shark didn't know what to do. The shark kept repeating this behavior every few minutes, not to have a success. Meanwhile, the bait fish swam around unharmed in the second partition. Eventually, about an hour into the experiment, the shark gave up. This experiment was repeated several dozen times over the next few weeks. And each time the shark got less aggressive, made fewer attempts to attack the bait until eventually the shark got too tired of hitting the fiberglass divider and simply stopped attacking altogether. The marine biologist then removed the fiberglass divider, but the shark didn't attack. The shark was trained to believe a barrier existed between it and the other fishes. So the bait swam whenever they wished, free from harm. However, guys, you know why most people never reach anywhere, even remotely close to their potential. You know to know why most people never achieve their goals. You want to know why now people, sometimes they're not proud of themselves. The number one reason is they give up far too soon. Just like the famous story from Napoleon Hill, you might have been 3 feet away from the goal, but then you threw away the spade and gave up. Meanwhile, someone else came along with the fighting power, the staying power, someone with a plan, someone willing to put the little extra effort. They dig a little deeper to claim that goal. All I want to say to you guys is keep going, keep plugging away, and I guarantee new strength and new energy will absolutely come to you. All the struggle will be part of your story, not your misery. Look at Marathon 260, everyone. We are in the finale. Athletes know this. When you start to run a game, any type of game, any type of physical activity or competition, sometimes it's a struggle in the early on, physically too hard, right? Like early days of marathon, you remember that? It was pretty hard. But then that's when most people stop. But every single person who's listening today, you stuck on, you successfully completed it. You made it to the final line. The moment was hard, but you didn't do that. You made it this far. You didn't come this far only to come this far. I heard people said, when I make it, when I get to the top, I'll keep working harder until I get to the top, until I reach my goal. Let me tell you something. There is never an end. This marathon has not ended. Winners never stop. If you reach your goal, set a bigger goal. If you get to the top of the mountain, find a bigger mountain. It always has not been about the money, about the fame. It's not about the status or material gains. It's about the growth. It's about the challenge. Marathon has given all of us that. Our CEO has came today and wonderfully did an awesome finale, and all the perks that are given away. It's amazing. I always hear people say, I'll keep on doing it. I want to give up. But winners never quit, guys. The winners never stop. The journey never ended, even at the top. All I'm going to say, you guys, always say that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. I am proud of my achievements. Don't settle for anything less, guys. You need to be proud. Proud but never satisfied. Proud but forever hungry. Proud, always ready. Proud but keep pushing. Push for more. Push for great. You have come this far. Keep going. And always say, you know what it takes. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Sometimes you have to go through hell before you enter the pearly gates. Every day is a new day, a chance to be great, a chance to elevate. There is no way I'm stopping at the third base, guys. You guys didn't sacrifice all this to be this far and come all this way. If the journey was not challenging, the destination wouldn't be rewarding. It's the challenge, it's the journey that makes the greatness. If you reach your goal, set a bigger goal. Marathon was your goal. You completed it. Now let's get to the top of the mountain. You have reached on the top of the mountain. Now let's find a bigger mountain. With that, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Mila. Thanks, Harvinder Singh. Thank you, Jamelia. Thank you, Yulia. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Andre. And thank you to all those wonderful translators who translated us today. With that, this is just the beginning. Take care, everyone. Stay classy.